Nothing like new strings, baby. Z's here from Houston. Oh, is there a convention there? Usually when I see you guys travel, it's to some kind of function. Good to see you. Thanks for checking in. Well, I've got a wild strand there. All right. Doors are open. We'll wait a few for some of the others to check in. Niece graduating high school. Awesome. Congratulations to her. Just found out Comic-Con here the weekend. I might have to stop in. I have no doubt where there is a science fiction or Comic-Con convention, you will find it. And we'll be there. Sounds great. Gene's here. I know. I was on the river for 3.5 hours, the salt today. When I got back, my friend Ellie had texted me about that, and I just read it when I got home. What an icon. Man, she was an awesome force in nature. What a fantastic performer. Yep, that's a huge loss. Man. So you heard about it too? Yeah. I know. I thought she looked fantastic. She was 83, man. She had abundant energy. I remember reading years ago when she made not even a comeback, they said she reinvented herself. She wrote a book years ago too, and she talked about her abusive marriage to Ike. And then she reinvented herself. And I mean, man, she was amazing. Yeah, very sad. Kevin Sear, another legend gone. She had been ill. Yeah. I know, despite our best efforts, it's different for everybody, but sometimes our immune system just starts breaking down, and I know, stuff happens. Something gets in there, and then you read a lot about brief illnesses, and that's usually the case. Immune systems just start failing, that kind of stuff. So we try to prevent that early on. I call it paying your future self forward. Oh, she'd been, I think they said she was living in Zurich, Switzerland. So she'd been in poor health. I knew she retired from touring. Oh. I'll have to think of something to play in her honor. obviously I don't know any of her songs. I had to just do some Motown to honor her. But I've got new strings. You all are here. I'm grateful. We only have the day, so we celebrate as much as we can. I hear the clock, 6 a.m. It feels so far where I've been. I got my eggs, I got my pancakes too. Got my maple syrup, everything but you. I break the yolks, make a smiley face. I kinda like it in my brand new place. I wipe the spots off the mirror. Don't leave the keys in the door. I never put wet towels on the floor anymore. 'Cause dreams last for so long, even after you're gone. And I know you love me, and soon you will see you were meant for me, and I was meant for you. Called my mom when she was out for a walk, and sold a cup of coffee, but it didn't want to talk, so I picked up the paper. It was more bad news. Our hearts being broken, more people being used. Put on the coat, the pouring rain. I saw a movie, it just wasn't the same, 'cause it was happy and I was sad, yeah. It only made me miss you so bad, 'cause dreams last so long, and even after you're gone. And I know you love me, and soon I know you will see you were meant for me, and I was meant for you. Yeah, I go about my business, I'm doing fine. Besides, what would you say if I had you on the line? Same old story, not much to say. Hearts are broken every day. Hey. Brush my teeth, put the cap back on. I know you hate it when I leave the light on. I pick a book up and turn the sheets down, yeah. I take a good long look around. Put on my PJs and hop into bed. I'm half alive, but I feel mostly dead. I try to tell myself it'll be alright. I shouldn't think any more tonight, 'cause dreams last so long, even after you're gone. And I know you love me, and soon I know you will see you were meant for me, and I was meant for you. Yeah, you were meant for me, I was meant for you. Yeah, 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 yeah. Oh, can you hear those harmonies? Harmonics? These new strings? There's nothing like new strings. They just sing, man. All right, opening up with a little, my buddy, my pal Steve Polson, Jewel. Their number one hit that knocked the Macarena off the charts in '96. Happy Hump Day, Kevin. Indeed. And who should check in as I'm playing Jewel, my one-time singing partner and friend, all the way up in Washington State, Haley. We did that together during a live set, Friday night set in the coffee shop. Maybe more than once. I don't know. She has a beautiful voice, and I don't even know if we rehearsed it. We just did it. So she knew the song, so did I. And so look what magic happens. She's checking in. Jewel's wonderful. And Steve talks about this too, and it's true. She's an amazing guitar player and an incredible songwriter. Yep. Oh, so, all right. That was the opening song. Welcome to, Kevin says, Happy Hump Day, Wind Down Wednesday. Sip 'em if you got 'em. Thanks for joining in my tribe, no matter how large or small. It's always an esteemed group of tribes folks. We spent 3.5 rivers on the Salt River this afternoon. So you can tell I got a little pink today, but I'm maintaining my tan. Oh, check your internet connection. You know, this will be archived. I don't care. Just count it and spin. I'm tired of these. That happened last time. A couple of you said that I froze up, but it came back. So, Haley, it was 10 years ago when we met at the Jewel concert. Oh, that's right. Steve, it's the only time I've seen them play together. Steve opened for her. That's right. And they did that song together. And then we all went to dinner afterwards at the casino, and that's where we met. That's right. And then you were just out here a few months ago, was it March, for the Renaissance Festival. So, yeah, we kind of said we need to stop meeting once every 10 years. This is like a movie. So we'll have to rectify that. It was wonderful spending time with you and your enchanting children. So that was a great day. I love that. Arizona native and never had been to the Renaissance Festival. So thanks for telling me you were coming in for that. I probably wouldn't have gone on my own. That was a cool day. I want more of that. I love the jousting. In real life to see that. Yep. Let's see. Please come to Boston for the springtime. Staying here with some friends, and they've got lots of room. You can sell your paintings on the sidewalk. Buy a cafe where I hope to be singing soon. Please come to Boston. And she said no. You come home with me. And she said, hey, rambling boy, why don't you settle down? Boston ain't your kind of town. There ain't no gold and there ain't nobody like me. 'Cause I'm the #1 fan of the man from Tennessee. Please come to Denver with the snowfall. We'll move up into the mountains so far we can't be found. Throw I love you echoes down the canyons, and then lie awake at night till they come back around. Please come to Denver, she said no, but you come on with me. And she said, rambling boy, why don't you settle down? Denver ain't your kind of town. There ain't no gold and there ain't nobody like me. 'Cause I'm the number one fan of the man in Tennessee. Now this drifter's world goes round and round, and I doubt if it's ever gonna stop. But all the dreams I've lost and found, and all that I ain't got, I still need to lean to somebody I can sing to. Please come to LA to live forever. California life alone is just too hard to live in a house that looks out over the ocean. And there's some stars that fell from the sky living up on the hill. Please come to LA. She just said no. Boy, you come home to me. And she said, rambling boy, why don't you settle down? LA can't be your kind of town. There ain't no gold and there ain't nobody like me. 'Cause I'm the number one fan of the man in Tennessee. Yeah, I'm the number one fan of the man in Tennessee. All right. A little Dave Loggins from my 7th grade, right around junior high days. He had a cousin named Kenny that did pretty good in the music business too, as I know I've mentioned. Hey, Haley, so I'm not going to try intentionally, but I'll embarrass you. But for all the right reasons. I hadn't seen Haley in 10 years. She didn't age a day. She was just stunningly beautiful. I, on the other hand, well, despite my best efforts, time catch up. Haley hadn't changed a bit. She was lovely, and her children were enchanting. That was a wonderful day. So I enjoyed that so much. Kevin says, you want a Fan Fusion this year? I don't know what that is. If so, Jake and Hannah will be in. Oh, is that where they were last year? Oh, and we hooked up Z and Nita with them, sight unseen, through the tribe here. I think that was that. I hadn't been there. I don't know. Z says, I'll be there. Let me know what booth. Yeah, that's right. They stopped by and they took pictures of one another and shared them. And we connected them just through the tribe here. Fan Fusion. I've been to Comic-Con twice, I think, because my friend John is a screenwriter. Used to go. They renamed Comic-Con to Phoenix. Oh, okay, yeah. So I mentioned Sunday that I saw Fast 10, and if you're a fan of the franchise, you'll like it. And Jason Momoa is over the top, completely out of character for him, but he pulls it off. And I got my picture taken with him at Comic-Con the last time I went. Super great dude. So cool. He's 6'3", he's an inch taller than me. Haley says, the rain in Seattle, I should just put on my cheaters. I'm trying to read without them. The rain in Seattle reverse aged this Arizona native. Well, I wish I could bottle some of that up and apply it for myself, but whatever you're doing, keep doing it. I'm hanging on to what's left of me. At least I can still sing and play guitar, I guess, so, you know. What? Somebody, one of my former clients, I just remembered, stunned me. She logged in Sunday and said, "Hi, it's so good to see your lovely face." And it's like, I thought she must have been talking about one of you. But she wasn't. I think she was being kind. Huh. Let me see. Oh, there's Johnny, he's so sweet. He's booger sugar and devil's meat. Hard as World War bubble gum, smooth as 151. But hey, hey, it's alright. I don't mind, and I won't fight. Hey, it's alright. 'Cause baby, you can come with me tonight. Oh, and there's Larry, he's alright. He's a walking stick of lit dynamite. He always gets it wrong, and his heart's as soft as a chicken bone. But hey, hey, it's alright. I don't mind, and I won't fight. Hey, hey, it's alright. 'Cause baby, you can come with me tonight. We can lose ourselves, not find our way back home, till the whole world feels just like a Saturday night, without a care in the world, without a net underneath us, floating through the air, high as a kite. Hey, hey, my, you're as pretty as the big blue sky. Hey, hey, it's alright. 'Cause baby, you can come with me tonight. Oh, and there's Barry, he's okay. He might even find himself one of these days with his diamonds and cocaine and his honey. I won't never do that again. But hey, hey, it's alright. I don't mind, and I won't fight. Hey, it's alright. 'Cause baby, you can come with me tonight. Whoa, whoa, whoa. All right, a little Bob Schneider, friend of Steve Holtz, actually from Austin, Texas. Thanks for tuning in. Welcome to Wind Down Wednesday. Sip 'em if you got 'em. So I played this song before from the Country Strong soundtrack, and I've shared a story for years about it. After I got creamed in that fantastic car accident in South Carolina in 2011, and only by the grace of God and Mercedes Engineering, the side airbag saved my life. So we've been through that before. I mean, I've talked to you a lot about it. And anyway, that song has special meaning and about the fragility of life. And so today, my friend Kelsey and I were on the river, and we were able to. I was actually able to save a guy from almost drowning. So I haven't put up anything on it yet because I didn't have time. I got home and hauled my kayak back up here to the second floor, had to get showered and everything. Yeah, so this guy was out there. There's a place on the river called Pinball, and it's a class 2 rapid, so it's pretty severe. And he was out there on an inner tube, and we just came through it, and it'll jostle you around quite a bit. And there's this guy off to my left, and I thought he was just doing leapfrogging through the water. That's what they call it when you're body surfing, when I used to body surf. And I yelled out to him, "Hey, you okay?" And he went down and came back up, and I said, "You all right?" And he goes, "No." And I tried handing him my oar, but the current was running at 1,040 cubic feet a second today, so pretty good current. So I got past him, and I just turned the hole around, and I paddled like hell to get to him, and I got to him, and I told him, don't turn me over, just hang on." And the guy was out of breath and panicked and could barely breathe, and so it's kind of a story. But we, my friend Kelsey was behind us, and we were trying to get over to the side. His inner tube had, and he got separated from his friends, which were way out there, and he was caught in this undulating Class 2 rapid. And he couldn't really swim, so he was pushing off the bottom just trying to get some air. And anyway, so I paddled back to him, he grabbed on, I floated backwards, we got over to the side, and I was trying to stop us, and there was this tree out there, and the tree turned my kayak sideways, and on the side he was on, and it capsized. Both of us went down under. So I didn't realize it until later. It cut my ear even. I didn't even know it happened. So I made sure that I didn't lose my phone and my keys, which were in a waterproof container. I lost my shoes. I had to go paddle after those. I didn't have my oar. So I went and paddled to get my shoes because there's no way to get out of there without any shoes because of all the rocks. So I had to have those. And I looked at my friend Kelsey, and she capsized also. She was probably like 30 yards away. And I yelled for her, and then she finally came up and said, "I got to get to the shore." So she eventually caught up with us, and I pulled her in, and that guy went and got his tube. So that all just happened today. No one knows that story. So I was just thinking about how fragile, if anything had changed on our timeline today that would have either put us ahead or before, that guy would have stuck in there, and he was in desperation. So we saw him later. He caught up with his friends, and he was out on his tube, and he must have processed it pretty quickly because he went, "Dude, I almost died. And it's like, I never got his name. He thanked me a lot for grabbing him. And then so that was that happened today. So I was trying to find a way. Later that night I'll put a post up about it. But that all happened. We were fortunate to be there just in time for him. So I just have been thinking about the fragility of life. I'm a good swimmer. You're not going to win against nature. I was talking to Kelsey about this earlier. You won't win against nature. Hopefully you can survive, but you have to cooperate with her. Water, wind, all of that. So, yeah, so I was just thinking about that with that guy. And I'm a good, strong swimmer, so I don't panic in the water. I've had one incident years ago where I got caught in an undertow in the ocean. First time I've ever panicked in the water. And I got caught in a riptide. So I used my head to figure my way out of it. And we both did that. We did that today to help this guy. So anyway, I was just thinking of that. So this song from the Country Strong soundtrack reminds me of that. I played it before after my car crash, so I was thinking about it today, so it seemed appropriate to celebrate people helping people you don't even know, but it's a human, and it's somebody who's in desperation, and he was losing a lot of energy, and so I was able to paddle against that current and grab him. And we got him to safety, so yeah, so this is the song. When the stars line up and you catch a good break, and people think you're lucky, but you know it's grace, and it can happen so fast or a little bit late. The timing is everything. Yeah, I've had close calls could have been me. And I was young when I learned just how fragile life can be. I lost friends of mine, 'cause it wasn't my time. Timing is everything. And I could have been a child that God took home, and I would have been one more unfinished song. When it seems a rhyme is hard to find, that's when one comes along just in time. I remember that day when our eyes first met. You ran into the building to get out of the rain, 'cause you were soaking wet. And as I held the door, you wanted to know my name. Timing is everything. And I could have been another minute late. You never would have crossed my path that day. When it seems true love is hard to find, that's when love comes along just in time. You can call it fate, destiny. Sometimes it really seems like it's a mystery, 'cause you can be hurt by love or healed by the same. Timing is everything. And it can happen so fast, a little bit late. Timing is everything. And as my friend, as I mentioned, Steve, used to say, I believe that's true, and so do I. So that's the story that just happened today. So 3.5 hours on the salt, working on my tan lines, and I think I'm going to title that post later, "To Save a Life, ... So when you see it, you'll get the story. But other than the 3 of us that were involved in that, that was a life-saving event that just happened today. I was fortunate enough to be involved in saving a near drowning. So I wanted to share that and share why I thought that song was significant. So anyway, you're the first ones to hear that. Let me get caught up on the comments. Man, awesome. Rename Comic-Con, Phoenix Fusion, Fan Fusion. Okay, yeah, I got that from Gene. Oh, I think Kevin was sharing stuff with Z about the booth number? Yes. Okay. Kevin says, why don't I put my cheaters on? I don't know, because I'm trying to strengthen my eyes by reading without them, but I end up squinting. Kevin says, hey man, I think you'll like this stuff, all very good and frameable. Oh, okay, they're still going back and forth. Haley says, life jackets. PFDs, personal flotation device. Kelsey had hers, was able to get it on when her kayak capsized. Yep, and that guy didn't have anything. He just was in a tube, and he got caught in those rapids, those class 2 rapids, right after we came through that set at Ping Pong. Yeah, man, he was really caught in those. So I paddled like a madman, turned my hull around. I've got 11 foot hard shell kayak, and he grabbed on it. And the first thing I said is, "Don't turn us over," because I knew he was in a panic. So he just held on and gasped and got his breath, and he was really exhausted. So I just said, "Just hang on, you're gonna be okay." So, I just went into survivor mode with him. Anyway, so that was the story. Yep. That's right, Haley, PFD. She kayaks up there in Seattle too. Guardian Angel. We've all had them. I know I had one looking after me on August 11th, 2011, 4:35 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. It was a Monday, Eastern Standard Time. Not like I remember it with any clarity. When I was pulling out of Robinson Nuclear Plant, my cute little two-door Mercedes. Second car out on a green light, as you know, on a four-lane South Carolina highway, and I looked to my left, and there was the giant grill of an F-350 truck that ran a red light. Full speed, T-boned me, knocked me completely sideways. You know, wheels are meant to go forward and backward. The passenger side was completely bent under, knocked me in the middle of the intersection, and only by the grace of God and Mercedes engineering, this side airbag saved my life, as you know. So I ended up with a tibial plateau fracture, compartment syndrome, and a fasciotomy, none of which I could have spelled or even known about until I went through my licensed massage therapist professional program, so which I am now, as you know. So, yeah, all that stuff happened to me. Broke my knee all the way across. It was crazy. And I certainly had my guardian angel looking after me that day. So, Paula Conley's in the house, my former workmate. Good to see you. Thanks for checking in. I got your Facebook request the other day. Yeah, I don't know if you're still logged in, but so if you're new to this, so I got my first guitar at 8. I took classical flamenco when I was 9, so I've been a singer-songwriter. Not so long a songwriter, but most of my life. Played guitar, played in garage bands, probably something that you didn't know. So we do this, if you want to make a note, so 3 nights a week. Wind Down Wednesday and Fiesta Friday are both at 7 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. I'm not sure where you're living, so you're here in Arizona. 7 p.m. for an hour or so. Depends on the requests, and we go longer sometimes. If I'm super tired from clients and stuff, my tribe is very forgiving, and I might cut it short 15 minutes. So it's typically 7 to 8 o'clock. Wind Down Wednesday, Fiesta Friday, and Sunday. Soulful Sundays at 5 p.m. because I have friends on Central and Eastern Standard Time, so they don't have to stay up so late on a school night. So unless I've got a booking or some event, I'm here 3 nights a week. Glad you checked in. So good to have you. Welcome to the tribe. Hang on, I'm catching up with comments. Kevin says, nice to hear stories with happy endings. Yeah, this one, it's a life worth saving. Never even got his name, but he was very grateful. I was grateful to be there. Gene says, having it Big Surf. Sorry, I'm going to have to put these on. When you were 16, a lady was distraught near the wall and lifeguards weren't paying attention, so I had to help her afloat. Wow, that's wild. In my high school youth group at church, there was the pastor's daughter went to, like, I don't remember the high school, Apollo or something, and she was a year behind me, and they were at Big Surf, and somebody in her high school classmate, he got his foot caught. So if you remember, I don't know if you ever saw the design of Big Surf, it had a big trap door in the very bottom, back toward the wall, and it would pressurize with air every 90 seconds, and that it was a steel door would open up, and that's what caused the wave. Then the door would close. That's why they had those markings on the wall saying, don't go behind there. And this guy did, and he got his foot caught, and he drowned. He was like a junior, senior in high school. It's terrible. So I'm glad you were able to, without dragging her under. Paula says, glad you were there, so am I. Just remember you're riding your bike all the way to work. Oh, yeah. Bike to work days. Yeah, myself, I did it solo the first time. Yeah, and then you work a 12-hour shift all night. So when you're an endurance athlete and a little bit nuts, and I don't mind that. And then the second time I did it, and then next year was with oh man, I'm blanking on his name, but it was with the late great Dave Zentz and I, and another guy who worked my shift. We all did it together. We were on the verge of getting there late. I think we got detoured. So that was wild. Amy's here from Ohio. Hello. Thanks for checking in. You'll see comments up there. My friend Kelsey and I were on the Salt River 3.5 hours today. I was just sharing with the tribe. I won't go through it again, but I helped save a guy from almost drowning. He fell off his tube. So it's float season here, so you can rent a tube or bring your own and float down. We're on kayaks, and this guy fell off his tube, and he got caught in this place right after a place called Pinball, and it's Class 2 rapids. I'm not an expert. It's just that, like, the Colorado River is Class 3. That's like major strong, but this is pretty severe, can be, and he got caught in those, and I went by him. We capsized, unfortunately, but I'm a good swimmer and I don't panic in the water. So we were able to get him and pull him to safety. So that's what I was sharing. If you see the comments, that's what I was just telling the tribe. So I played "Timing Is Everything" because it seemed like a good song. Because I learned that song after I got in that terrific crash in South Carolina, and yeah, that's exactly what my friend Paula said. So I'm glad too. So anyway, I was just recanting that story. So, I just let spirit dictate, as you know, unless you've got something compelling you want to hear out of my set list. So I let my muse just kind of guide my set list. So I just dropped down to the 3rd fret. The late great Townes Van Zandt had this song. So I was trying to think of songs with the theme of like gratitude and Tina Turner passed away, I know, mentioned at the top of the hour, so I don't have any of her songs, but I've got some Motown I'll play or something to play in honor of her. So this Townes Van Zandt song I played, I like. My muse said do this one, so I said okay. If I needed you, would you come to me? Would you come to me and ease my pain? If you needed, I would come to you. I would swim the seas for to ease your pain. In the night forlorn, all the morning's born, and the morning shines with the lights of love. If you miss sunrise, you will close your eyes, and that would break my heart in two. Lady's with me now, since I showed her how to lay her limbs in mine. Loop and lip agree, she's a sight to see, and a treasure for the poor to find. If I needed you, would you come to me? Would you come to me and ease my pain? If you needed, I would come to you. I would come to you or ease your pain. All right, some of the late great Townes Van Zandt seemed appropriate about being there, whether it's saving a life or just being there for one another. If you need me, I love those songs. I'll be there for you. Kevin says, Bob Dylan's 82 today. Got any up your sleeve? Well, you know I do. The one. Yeah, so you know this is a Garth Brooks arrangement of a Bob Dylan song from the Hope Floats soundtrack, performed by me, by moi. You know, last week I was listening on Sirius XM. I heard somebody's version of "Lay Lady Lay," and it's like I always wanted to learn that Bob Dylan song because it sounds like Roger Miller. It never sounded like Bob Dylan, and I don't know it. I haven't learned it, but I should do that. Yeah, so I've got a so we'll do Garth Brooks' version of a Bob Dylan song from the Hope Floats soundtrack, performed by moi. When the rain is blowing in your face and the whole world is on your case, I would offer you a warm embrace to make you feel my love. The evening shadows and the stars are pale. There is no one to dry your tears. I could hold you for a million years to make you feel my love. I know you haven't made your mind up yet, but I would never do you wrong. I've known it from the moment that we met. There's no doubt in my mind where you belong. And I'd go hungry, I'd go black and blue, I'd go crawling down the avenue. There ain't nothing that I wouldn't do to make you feel my love. Storms are raging on a rolling sea, down the highway of regret. The winds of change are blowing wild and free. You ain't seen nothing like me yet. There ain't nothing that I wouldn't do. Go to the ends of the earth for you. Make you happy, make your dreams come true, to make you feel my love. Oh, all right, there we go. Honoring, by the way, sometimes I introduce him as by his given name, and usually people go, who's that? Robert Zimmerman. I'll say, so I've got a song by Robert Zimmerman, and people will go, who is that? And I'll go, actually, you know him as Bob Dylan. So, true fact. Thanks for the shout out there for Robert Zimmerman's 82nd birthday today, Kev. Thanks, Amy. Hey, Paul, are you still there? Can't tell. I can never tell who's logged in here or not. I just remember that was myself, the late great Sorry, it's been a long, tired day, so my brain's kind of fried. I just mentioned his name. Rick Bebout was the guy. Sherman Ince was the guy I mentioned. Rick Bebout was the other guy. Those are the three of us that rode to work on our bikes that night. It was like 62 miles. Or that afternoon on bike to work day. Yeah, so when Paula mentioned, I just remember you riding your bike to work. I did it twice. That song you just sang. Oh, thanks, Paula. Yeah, that's it's a Bob Dylan song, but I've never been a fan of his version. It's too, from a musician standpoint, it's got a certain cadence and a beat that's too by the numbers. And I saw, like 20 years ago, I saw Garth Brooks sitting on a stool doing a live version of that on some show, and he had a jazzy kind of free-flowing way, and I loved his version. And it was on the Hope Floats soundtrack, the movie Hope Floats. So I always give credit to all of that. So I learned Garth Brooks' version. So that's the version I like. I'm glad you liked it. Thank you. I love that song too. You always came in bike gear to briefing. Oh, I did. I thought we arrived in time to shower. Maybe I got there before briefing started, but people saw me. Yeah, that was the late great Sherman Ince and Rick Bebout and I. We did that's the second ride. We did that together because they all worked on my shift. We rode in together from town. That was wild. Still glad I did that. That was fun. I might have done it a third time. Can't remember. I did the first one on my own though. Yeah, so, all right, thanks for checking in. Lewis, once you came in a bit behind and Bebout stole bikes. Yeah, Rick and I are still connected. He actually, when he got remarried, I'm a wedding officiant, so I'm ordained, so I officiated his wedding out in a park in Scottsdale. And then he came down, gosh, it's been 13 years ago, down to Rocky Point when my daughter and son-in-law got married. Rick came down and did he shot the whole thing on camera. So he's a photographer. So he did that. So we're still friends. We don't talk very often to see each other, but he'll check in occasionally. Good to see you here. Thanks, my tribe. Maybe one night you can sing "Go Rest High on That Mountain." Oh, who did that one? I'll have to find it. I love it when my friends give me requests. I call that my universal nudge to learn something that I hadn't learned before. So I'll have to make a note to go look that up. Do me a favor, because I archived these shows so you can go back and watch them. I'm going to forget that comment. Send me a Facebook message, and now that we're connected on Facebook, and message me if you will. I'll get that, and I'll go look that song up, because I've still got like 5 seconds of short-term memory. Well, it's 5 minutes now, but I'll probably forget. All right, so back to Tina Turner. So I wanted to do some Motown to honor her, but which I know, but it has to be the right song, and nothing that is coming to mind fits, but I do have one that does. So it's the Elvis song that I learned. So as you all know, I won't go into all of that. So saw Elvis live in 1973 when I was 12 here in Phoenix. Did an Elvis tribute show in Mexicali, Mexico about 8 years ago. Been to Graceland twice. So I heard this on Sirius XM when I traded my car in 2 years ago, and I've learned it. I play this for Kevin Jean. Reminds me of them. But all of our stories have highs and lows, and I love the theme of this song because it's true. True love really does travel on a gravel road, and Tina Turner was very transparent, sharing about her life, but she did reinvent herself, and she was a fantastic performer. So I'll play this one in honor of her and all that she endured and went through, and as much as she encouraged others. And I'm sure other women, black women in particular, to reinvent yourself, pull yourselves back up, and she used her talent, that God-given talent. So I'm going to do this one. This one came to mind. So I always follow my muse, as you know. When my muse says do, I just do. So. How many girls choose cotton dress words when they could have satins and lace, and stand by her man, never once letting shame touch her face? How many hearts could live through all the winters we've known and still not be cold? True love travels on a gravel road. Love is a stranger and hearts are in danger on smooth streets paved with gold. Oh, true love travels on a gravel road. Down through the years, we've had hard times and tears, but they only help our love grow. And we'll stay together no matter how strong the wind blows. Not once have I seen your blue eyes filled with envy or stray from the one that you hold. Oh, true love travels on a gravel road. Yeah, love is a stranger and hearts are in danger on smooth streets paved with gold. Oh, true love travels on a gravel road. Yeah. True love travels on a gravel road. Yeah. True love travels on a gravel road. Those are true words. Especially those who have stuck it out through thick and thin in a relationship know that that's absolutely true. So that's dedicated to the late great Tina Turner. So I didn't have a Motown song that's appropriate of the ones that I know, but I thought that definitely she would agree with that. She suffered through thick and thin and came out strong and ended strong. Yep, and true love definitely travels on a gravel road. It's not paved with gold. But those hard times give us an opportunity to bind us together and support one another, even strangers. So that one seemed appropriate. Amy says, such feeling. Thank you. Yeah, that's, I don't know, man. That's, Elvis had it. Buddy Holly had it. Every black artist I know has it. It's that. Tina had it. It's, I don't know. That's something you connect with. And I've had people even tell me that, man, when you sing this song or that song, it's like not even you. I'm not aware of that. I just immerse myself in the music, and I just let that spirit come up. And it does. I just try to honor it. But I really love that sometimes somebody will say, I really noticed that, because it's true. So thanks for that. Amy, I'm going to end on your song, but not yet. So don't go away. Song I wrote for Amy years ago. I just want to do something else, and I'm not sure what. I'm not ready to be done yet. Thanks, Kev. I appreciate it, man. You're welcome, Amy. What's a good song to? You know, I'm OCD, so and I'm not a quitter. I really wanted to do something for Tina. Well, I did, but nah, I can't get away. I'm not going to be able to not do a Motown song, even if it's not. Got two. You know, that usually means I'm probably going to do them both. I don't know. Yeah. All right. My muse, she gives me stuff, and I just, all right. Sometimes I have to sit through it. Yes. You're reading my wavelength. That's one. And I was just going to, I'm in G, the people's key. Steve Poles calls it E, the people's key, but you can use any one. There's no such thing. It's just funny. So yes, it's in G, the people's key. Yeah, so I was going to do this, and I have one other on deck, and then I'm going to end on Amy's Lullaby. So this is exactly the one I was thinking of. I should do this and another one, and I'm gonna. Sitting in the morning sun, I'll be sitting till the evening comes, watching the ships roll in. Then I watch him roll away again. I'm sitting on the dock of the bay, watching the tide roll away. Ooh, we're sitting on the dock of the bay, wasting time. Left my home in Georgia, headed for the Frisco Bay. Ain't got nothing to live for, look like nothing gonna come my way. So I'm just gonna sit on the dock of the bay, watching the tide roll away. Ooh, we're sitting on the dock of the bay, wasting time. Look like nothing gonna change, everything remains the same. I can't do what 10 people tell me to do, so I guess I'll remain the same. I'm just sitting here resting my bones, and this long and this won't leave me alone. 2,000 miles I roam just to make this dock my home. So I'm just gonna sit on the dock of the bay, watching the tide roll away. Ooh, sitting on the dock of the bay, wasting time. Oh, have mercy. Some of the late great Otis Redding. Man, oh man, oh man. Woo! I am connected to that spirit tonight. Oh, thanks, Amy. I'm glad you like that. All right. Yeah, so I told you how much I love Jermaine Jackson's version of this on YouTube. You can find it from, I think it was from Midnight Special. I'm old, so if that doesn't ring a bell, it's okay. He had this huge afro and he's playing bass, and he did I can't do what he did, but it's a beautiful version of this song. So I was thinking of this, so I'm going to dedicate this one also to Tina Turner, the late great Tina Turner, in whatever manner it's supposed to be received. So we'll do this. You're my love, you're my angel, you're the girl of my dreams, and I'd like to thank you for waiting patiently, yeah, Daddy's home. Yeah, Daddy's home to stay. How I wait for this moment to be by your side. Your best friend Robin told me you had teardrops in your eyes, yeah, Daddy's home. Your daddy's home to stay. Now it wasn't on a Sunday, Monday and Tuesday went by. It wasn't on a Tuesday afternoon. All I could do was cry. I made a promise that you treasure. I'd make it back home to you. Now I've waited for the snowman be by your side. Your best friend Robin told me you had teardrops in your eyes, yeah, Daddy's home. Your daddy's home to stay. Daddy's home to stay. I'm not 1,000 miles away. Daddy's home to stay. I'm gonna be there, come what may. Daddy's home to stay. I'm not 1,000 miles away. Woo! Oh, I had to focus on that. It was getting the best of me. I was welling up the emotion of that song. Woo! Still am. Awesome. I love Jermaine Jackson's version of that. It's just wonderful. Thanks, Gene. All right. It was Amy. All right. Thanks for hanging in there with me for its extended version tonight, my tribe. So here's Amy's lullaby I wrote for her years ago. When you go to sleep at night, remember to let your soul take flight. But if you drift away too far, I'll ride a moonbeam to where you are. The stars are calling, and I am falling. As you lay your head to sleep, counting heartbeats instead of sheep. Just breathe my name and call me there, and I'll sprinkle stardust in your head. The moon is calling, and I am falling. If I could lay you down to sleep, praying the Lord your soul to keep the night is calling, and I have fallen. So sleep you well, my turtle dove. You'll forever be my one true love. There you go. Ending the set with Amy's Lullaby. Thanks for checking in. This was a nice night. That went really quick. Huh. Probably because I talked a little bit more than normal. Amy says, soothing. Thank you. You're welcome. And Jean, you have a good rest tonight as well. Thanks so much for checking in, my tribe. It's been a day. So, and as always, no matter how large or small the gathering, it's an esteemed group of tribes members. Thank you for being here. Thanks for checking in tonight. And as always, also, namaste. The divinity in me recognizes and honors the divinity in you. Thanks for keeping yourselves healthy, safe, those immune systems bolstered up. Thanks for being here on, as Kevin says, hump day, the middle of your week, on Wind Down Wednesday. Hope you have a fantastic rest of your evening, and sliding into the weekend, I will be back as usual at 7 p.m. Mountain Standard Time for Fiesta Friday. So have a great rest of your midweek. Hope to see you here on Friday if you can make it, and we'll look forward to seeing you then.